I'm waiting to see if it comes up here.
It says we're live.
I see
Let's
that.
check. And usually there's a little bit of a delay, not too much. And there we are. It's popping up. And I just look like I am sitting in the dark here. I cannot believe.
Yeah, you are a little bit dark.
Man, and I've got every light in the house on.
Point it more towards you.
There, that's a little better. Okay, that's a little bit better. There's nothing I can do about it. The lighting in here today, just the difference in the light outside. It's an overcast, cloudy day, and we just don't have much in the way of sunshine. Boy, oh boy. It's funny, this house that we bought this house a year ago, and there is no lights anywhere in this house. There's like one light in the kitchen, and
Over the counter.
there's over the counter, not even in the working area. And there's a light in the bathroom, and that's it. So everything else.
We had a house in North Dakota the same way. It was like, how do these people see? And it's, the sun doesn't come up till 10 there in the winter.
Right.
And I'm like, seriously, we had lamps everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. And then lamps, it's just different. The lighting is different with lamps. So, and in my bedroom, I have a nightstand, and there's shutters inside the house. There's shutters instead of blinds on the windows. Yeah, big wooden shutters. And they're tall. They're probably 2.5 feet off the ground. So you open the shutters to get any light in, and nothing can be in front of the shutters. And so every window has these shutters on it. So not only is there's no lamps, there's no place to put tables, so you can put lamps on the tables because you have to open the shutters. And so in order to open the window in my room, I literally have to move the lamp, open the shutter,
That's interesting. I've never seen shutters inside the house. That's different.
It is. And
Turn your camera.
it's too messy in here to turn my camera around. I take great care to only show this much space.
Well, you see, this much is all you get to see of mine.
Right. I know. I need to do a video. I want to do this unboxing. I've got a knitting machine. Everybody knows the knitting machine.
Ooh.
And I'm afraid of the knitting machine. And I've had it for a year. I got it for Christmas last year. I'm afraid of the knitting machine. And every morning I get up and I say hello to the knitting machine, and I walk by.
They are tons of fun.
That's what I hear. And I'm going to do it. I just ordered some special yarn to use in it. So I think I'm real excited. That got me more excited than anything else, was this yarn. I saw this yarn knit up into a hat from the knitting machine. I'm like, oh, I have to have that yarn, and I have to use it in this knitting machine. So I'm very excited about that. It looks like go ahead.
I had a knitting machine and I loved it, but there's just no room in a camper. So
no, there is not. Well, and that was the thing. I ordered. Oh, that's a little better. I ordered it last year when we were in Texas, and I had it sent to the house. So even though I've had it a year, it's only been in my possession since May. So that's a little better. But I need to do an unboxing, and that means in the other room, and I have to clean that whole area up. And that's part of what has stopped me from doing it.
I know. I want to do a series on the camper, and it's like, oh man, then I have to really do some serious cleaning and moving, and
Isn't that funny? That's so funny. Well, good morning. We've got a few people in this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Teresa and Abigail, Melanie. Thank you for popping in. I know it was kind of short notice. I didn't have the notice put up very early, and I know I appreciate you guys coming in. I know I've been gone. I was really worried last night. I've been off air for a month, but I did a pretty good job of throwing some videos up and keeping you guys, and you were in my mind the whole time, trust me. But just getting out of the habit of popping in here on Tuesday mornings makes it a little bit tough for people. And there's the big Dana's big thanks giveaway is this afternoon at 2 Pacific, and she's got her notice up now, so you can go in there and set the reminder for that. And I think at this point, there's 22 of us doing giveaways on her show this afternoon. So it's going to be a fun time. So make sure you set your reminders for that. But this morning we have Miss Jean with us from PinkeeJean. Thank you so very much for popping in today. We've been struggling with getting our schedules to match for several months. And so I was just thrilled when I reached out to her and she had time to sit with us this morning. So good morning, Jean.
Good morning. And to Teresa, Abigail, and Melanie, not people I'm familiar with, but hello.
So you guys need to make sure, and it's PinkeeJean, right? Just PinkeeJean? Yeah, just PinkeeJean. If you pop over to PinkeeJean and take a look at her, fun. I was trying to describe your channel last night and I realized I can't because you do so many different things. And that's what I said it's just like sitting with one of your best friends and you just sit and jabber and laugh and talk about stuff. And that's exactly the feeling I get when I watch your videos.
Well, thank you.
So
I enjoy doing them. So
good. And we can tell you have a lot of fun with it. And boy, that really shows through when people are having fun on their videos. It really shows through. And especially a video, I think types of videos where it's not, some people, their whole channel is teaching me to do something. And so I don't need a lot of personality when you're teaching me to do something. I need you to teach me. But if it's not that kind of a video, I need the personality, and you've got it. And I love your humor, and I like some of the things you say. Just throw me. I really do enjoy that.
Word of warning, I have an off the wall humor. It's not the normal. So
yep.
If you're expecting
yeah, there's no normal in this house.
Right. Not happening.
So I keep wanting to call you Pinky. So Jean, what made you decide to do a YouTube channel?
Well, I was trying to figure this out. This was like 4 years ago that I started. Excuse me, it's fall here and it hates me.
Oh.
I was watching several people. I was watching YouTube tiny houses. And then I got into people who were roaming around in campers, and I have always wanted to do that. And that's what made me start. I decided I could do this. I could start a channel and do like these people as I roam around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it started out as.
Yep. Yep.
I was still working at the time, so most of it is just you can't see any of them anymore, but it was touring campgrounds and stuff like that we would go and stay at. So that's how I started.
Did you find a good audience for that? Because I know that's kind of how we started too, and I didn't have a whole lot of audience for it.
No, it was a struggle. I think I had my channel 2 years before I hit over 100.
Yeah.
And the reason I hit over 100 was because, the stupid COVID hit and all the campgrounds were shut down.
Yeah.
And the restaurants, because I worked as an MA with a doctor, and he liked to go to restaurants. And so I would do reviews of these restaurants, and we couldn't do that. It was like all my content was gone. It was like, I don't know what to do. And actually 2 other YouTubers, they're unboxers. I don't know what possessed them, but they watched one of my videos and told me they were there to support small channels. And I went over there to watch them, and it was like, hey, I could do that. And so it kind of morphed into unboxing, but that's not what I originally intended.
It's funny how that works out. It's funny how that works out. So, and I think most everybody knows that I started out with the YouTubing because we were traveling the country in RV, roaming with our dogs, Rover, roaming with Rover. And we had worked in Texas, in the middle of Texas at Lewisville Lake. And it's an Army Corps of Engineer lake near Flower Mound, Texas. And we worked in a guardhouse. And then one day I'm swiping through videos, and you know how things pop up. And I don't even know, I think it was one of your unboxings. I must have been searching for something, and one of your unboxings popped up, and I recognized the gatehouse. And I'm like, hey, I recognize that. And so that's what drew me to your video in the first place, was the gatehouse that you were sitting in. And I thought it was so funny because I myself had sat in gatehouses making videos, because sometimes there's not a lot of activity in those gatehouses.
Right.
And you have lots of time.
Yep. The doctor I was working with decided that he was going to retire. And I decided I did not want to start up with a new doctor. So I thought, well, it's time to retire. So we put our house up for sale. And, you know, I was still working, and it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Because I needed to finish. I promised him I'd finish till he totally retired. So my spousal unit lined up that Corps of Engineers where we could park there and work. I could still work and until I was fully retired. And that's how we got at the Corps of Engineers.
So yours was near your home.
Yes.
I had to move across the country to do that.
Yeah. No, this was, well, originally we tried to get into a state park. There's a state park close, and I really thought I wanted to, but they were not willing to work with us, and I was disappointed. And somebody else we knew told us, oh, you got to go to the Corps of Engineers. They're great to deal with and work with. And I'm like, okay. So he gave us the name of the gentleman who was running the local ones, because there are 4 Corps of Engineer campgrounds close here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he runs all of them. And he pretty much said, well, I don't need anybody till March. And we were like, we need a place to go in January. And he's like, well, we can put you out there. You'll have to, you know, do yard work and stuff. And we're like, fine.
Yeah.
So we went in January. This was in 21. Yeah, in 2021. And we stayed there. And then in March, we started at the gatehouse. But we were just doing, you know, what all the grounds people do up until then. Yeah. But they worked with us. It was great.
It's a great program, and it's run almost exclusively on volunteers. They do, like you said, the yard work. At ours, we had some that did the grounds, and then the rest did the gates. And when we got there, they said you'd be, you know, making reservations, and people would pay for it. Well, and then again, everything got switched over to the computer, so you didn't have to do any of that stuff.
By the time we started, they were not allowing us to do reservations. It was all had to be done online. We just checked people in and out. So it kind of got boring.
So, and
I had lots of time.
Lots of time. I did a lot of my diamond painting because I had room to spread out, because you don't have room for that in a motorhome.
Right. So
tell us about your trailer. It's a trailer, right? It's a pull behind?
Yeah, it's a bumper pull. It's 32 foot.
Oh, that's a nice size.
Yeah, it's got 2 slides. It is an all seasons, it's called, which I wouldn't want to be here in really cold weather, but it's, you know, better insulated than a lot.
Yeah.
And we did that intentionally because we wanted it, we're going to live in it. And it's called a Terry Extreme. That's what it's called. And it, you know, basically has a bedroom, bathroom, and then a great room.
That's nice. That's nice. And you have a new addition to your family.
Yeah, the Menace.
That's so cute. Coco.
Every time I set the camera up, he's over there trying to play with the tripod. And I was fighting with him before, but he's gone. I think he's gone to take his nap. He's worn out now.
How come you guys decided to get a kitty?
I love animals. I have, you know, I've always had a pet. And we had a dog. Before we moved in the camper, we had a dog, and it got hit by a car, which trapped me. And I thought, I'm not ever going to have pets ever again. But the problem is I have an affinity towards the seal point cats, which is basically people call them Siamese.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of ours had ended up with this one, and she was looking for a home for him. And so I hadn't intended on getting a pet. I just love the looks of those cats, and it had to be done.
Yep. Yep. And you guys aren't as mobile. And
No, right.
you stay in one place a little longer than other roamers.
Well, our plans kind of got knocked down for numerous reasons, and we were going to end up just staying at a core.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother actually bought property here where we're at now and put hookups for me.
Nice.
So we don't plan on really moving this rig anymore. Not that we could, because our truck is broke down.
Oh no.
But what we're looking for is, like a Class B van.
Mm-hmm.
And do roaming in that, and then this camper will just stay here. It's like a small apartment, so
yeah,
small apartment.
Small, yeah, yes, emphasis on small. Ours is a 40-footer, but you say 40-footer, but really the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet is the driving area, so that's not really living space. It's a nice space to stack up crap on that front seat, but other than that, it's not really living space. So that cuts a couple of feet off there. But the first RV, the first motorhome we got didn't have any slides. It was like a 45-year-old Winnie, and it didn't have any slide outs. And they've all been about the same size. They've all been about 38. Wouldn't you say, hon, about 38 feet?
Yeah.
So that was the size I was used to, but it was still cozy in there. And then when we got another one and it had a slide, I was like, oh, it felt like it doubled the amount of space that you had. And it was just amazing. Amazing. Do you guys have a washer and dryer on board?
No. I should tell you, though, that I have owned everything from a 19-foot bumper pull up to a 1947 Brill bus.
Wow.
And everything in between. So we have tried it all.
You've done everything, yeah.
Yep.
If we'd have had a truck already that could have pulled, we would have gotten a trailer. But we didn't want to have to buy both.
Right.
And so that's how we ended up with the bus. And we did enjoy that. Enjoyed it a lot.
Well, we loved the bus, size-wise and stuff, but it was a 1947 and old. And my spousal unit, love him to death, but he's not mechanically inclined. And it was a problem. So at that point, I decided I wanted either a fifth wheel or a bumper pull, because when the truck breaks down, it's got to go in somewhere, and I don't want to deal with no home. So,
yeah, and we've done that many, many, many times.
Yep.
Many times.
You end up in a hotel. It's not.
And that's how my dogs got used to sleeping, getting up on the furniture, but was from being in a hotel, where it's like, all right, get on the bed, because there's no room to walk around if you're on the floor.
Right.
So yeah, we have spent many, many nights broken down and staying in a hotel and waiting. You take it in to get it fixed, and they want to leave it there until the parts get there 3 months later. No.
Yeah. It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what cured me of having like either a motorhome or a bus. I determined I wanted the two pieces, because typically when something goes wrong with the camper, you tell them what it is and they'll order the part, and you run it in and they fix it, and you're good to go. But the trucks, our truck is a diesel, and it's been in the shop now for a month and a half.
Oh.
So if it was my home, I would be very unhappy about now.
It's terrible. It is just terrible. But so yeah, a lot of people dream of living in an RV and hitting the road, and it's a great dream, but it is fraught with problems that you don't realize until you're in the middle of it. And that's one of the things, is finding some place to work on it when it breaks down, because it's going to break down.
Yeah.
And
If anybody ever asked me again, there's two things. I would not have a motorhome if you're going to live in it
mhm,
because of the loss of living space if it
Yeah.
breaks down. And it's usually the motor that's the problem, or the
Right.
transmission.
right.
And I would never buy a diesel. Don't buy a diesel.
Really?
There is limited places to fix it. I mean,
That's true.
it's
true.
hard to find somebody who can actually work on it, and then you end up
Mm-hmm.
taking it to a dealership, which is twice as much.
So expensive.
I would not recommend a diesel of any kind.
We had a problem. We had a problem with the engine on one of ours, and it basically needed new rings, I think is what it was, bearings and rings. And we took it into a very well-known diesel place. You can't say names, dear. Very well-known diesel place. And they wanted to cut it in half to remove the engine.
Yeah.
What? No. I mean, it's a bus. People take bus engines out of buses all the time. You take the back off. They wanted to cut it in half.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it was diesel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all he'll buy is diesel.
Well,
he's an old truck driver.
Yeah.
So
well, we used to drive semi. That's why we ended up with ours.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I could not buy a brand new one.
Oh no.
And so we're talking, my spousal unit is not mechanically inclined.
Mm.
I don't have the funds coming in like we did with the semi.
Right.
So no diesel for me.
That's funny. So you used to drive truck?
Yes, I drove semi.
That's interesting.
Well, I should explain. My dad was a beekeeper. He got in a bad wreck, and my spousal unit and I went to help him out in his bee business. And at that time, the cost for shipping, because we would ship from North Dakota to California and back and forth.
I've done it.
At that time, the shipping was so expensive that we decided to purchase a truck. We went to an auction, purchased a truck, got our CDLs, and we hauled our own bees, and then we would do backhauls. So it was predominantly to haul our own stuff, but
still.
Yep.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Well, if we both get our license, then we can tag team and the trips go quicker. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I never had any interest in doing anything like that. I can't park my car, let alone one of those great big trucks. But we'll get to an area and I'm like, I can't park there. And he's like, good God, I could park 3 trucks in that space. And he just zips right in there.
Well, my spousal unit and I had a deal. I don't park the truck. He does all that. I'll wash the clothes.
There you go.
Stop. So I would have people all the time. How come your husband's not helping you in here? And it's like, we have a deal. I don't park the truck. He doesn't do the laundry. It works.
Yep. So then, when you're pulling, have you driven and pulled the trailer then?
The camper trailer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've driven it, parked it, set it up. I don't have
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. That was one of those things I kept saying, I'm going to learn how to do this. I'm going to learn how to do this. And I can drive it. I can go forward. I drove from Washington State to Yellowstone. He had just had surgery on his shoulder and he couldn't drive it. And so I drove, across 4 states. I can go forward. No problem. That's it.
Well, I can back it, but I choose not to. I don't like it. It stresses me out. So if there's any backing going on, spousal unit has to get behind the wheel. I have backed him into places. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't either. And he can do it in the dark with one eye. So
yes.
I have.
Yeah, many times. Well, we've got a lot of new people coming in. Let's say hello to a few people. We said hello to Melanie and Teresa. Hi, Sally. Sally was our our sponsor for last night's bingo. We had a lot of fun with that. That was awesome.
Hey, and Daisy Dale, I know her. Daisy Dale.
Oh, okay. Oh, it says Dale Ramsey. I thought it said Dave Ramsey, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, it's Dale Ramsey, but she says Daisy Dale, and I love that name. So
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Abigail Van Houten and Crochet in Agreement. Good morning. Good morning. Abigail, I'm not sure what you mean. You'd like to donate a blessing bag. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Let me know. It sounds intriguing. Sounds intriguing. So you seem to have an awful lot of flamingos.
Yes, I do.
What's up with that? How did that start?
Well, truthfully, I love pelicans and I've collected them for years. But somehow when we moved into the camper, none of my pelican stuff fit.
Yeah.
And it just didn't sound campery. So I said, I was talking to different people and I said, I need a mascot for my camper. And everybody knows I love pink. Pink is my color. And so it was suggested to me numerous times that I should do flamingos because they're, for whatever reason, they're associated a lot with campers and they're pink.
Yep.
So I ordered it's like 4 or 5 foot tall. It's a really big one. And I ordered it and I showed it to my viewers and I did a naming. And of course, the name that won was Mingo, and it just flew from there. So it started out just a mascot for me, and it grew.
It has blossomed. Yeah, it's so cute.
And I love them, so it's great. I love it.
If you guys haven't seen a few weeks ago, Miss Jean, and now is that your niece? That you,
Jennifer?
Yeah. Is she your niece?
Jennifer's my niece, yes.
So Jean and Jennifer went to Walmart shopping, and Jean was dressed from head to toe in flamingo and interviewed the people of Walmart. It was a hoot. It was really a fun video. And that's what I'm talking about her funny sense of humor. It is definitely off the wall. It is.
I see Walmart people pictures come up on Instagram and Facebook, and it's like, we should do that. And Jennifer's like, pick me, I want to go video. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
That's fun. Yeah, she's a sweetie too. I enjoy her a lot.
She is.
So of course we want everybody to go over to Jean's website and take a look at what she does and throw her some love, throw some yarn in her window. And she just hit 550. And you know how the numbers on YouTube, they're up and down. But so she's in the range of 550. So we need to give her a little bit of love. And she's so supportive of other members of the community. So we always like to bounce that back. I was so excited when you just were hitting 500. I'm like, come on, guys, get over there. Go see Pinky. It was so cute.
I was so excited. I just wanted my community page back.
I know. The community page is awesome. It is just awesome.
I don't use it a lot, but I want it.
Yeah, it's really helpful. It's a great way. I find it's a great way to send out reminders.
Right.
Or if there's a really good sale, I will pop it up there. In theory, I am, I don't even know the word, affiliated. I'm an affiliate of several with the different yarn companies. And if I could figure out how to do it, I'm able to put a link up to these sales and things. And then when people go in and buy, I get a little tiny spiff from it. But I can't figure out how to get the connections done. And so I need to do that. It's one of those things. I don't have anybody in my world who is really good with computers. And so I end up calling my YouTube friends going, hey, how do you do this? And then we have one of these little meetings and then I figure it out. But I haven't done that yet. So we need to. But the community page is great for, Furls will have an amazing special and it's only good for 2 days. And I like to throw them up there. So that's really good. I'm really super happy that you met that goal. And of course, your next big goal is, and my gosh, you've got 1 million teen views. When I saw that the other day, I'm like, how does that happen? It's just amazing the number of views that you've had.
Oh, well, that's kind of a cheat thing because I've been doing a lot of shorts. Working, my brother's building a tiny house. It was a little shed and he's changing it into a tiny house. And so rather than do long videos, I thought I'd just do some shorts. And surprisingly, those shorts get a ton of views.
Yeah.
Doesn't add up very quick, but I have a lot of views and it's just because of the shorts.
Okay. But still, it seems to make YouTube happy.
Yeah.
When we were still in Texas, my video that got the most views was a short. And it was Mr. with one of his snake skins. And it got like 3,000 views. And I'm like, I was shocked. But
yeah, I think mine with the most is like 4,200 and it's Coco, the menace.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
That's so much fun. It's so much fun. Yeah. Trying to figure out what makes you two happy that's a full-time job in itself. And I'm not sure that they know.
Yeah.
But it's always something. It's always something. So Abigail, I'm understanding you want to donate a mystery bag. I just need more details. Is this something you want to do on here today, or what are you thinking? Give me some info there. I'm happy to play whatever it is. So Jean, why don't you show us what you're working on? Miss Jean is a knitter. Miss Jean is a knitter and a crocheter.
I do both. I set both my projects here in case you wanted to see them.
Of course, we want to see everything.
Which one do you want to see?
Whatever you want to show me.
Well, I always have 2 projects going that I work on. One that's complicated and gives me a headache.
Yep.
And then I have one that is easy.
Mine less.
So I'll show you the complicated one first.
Okay, good. I'm going to make it big here so I can see it.
Let me see if I can get it out.
I have to remind people, I'm not ignoring. I got my hand slapped once for ignoring my guest. I'm not ignoring. I'm turning to my other screen because it's bigger so I can actually see what's going on. Look at that.
This is
that's
just a
beautiful.
crocheted. It's going to be a bookmark when I'm done. And it's just a crocheted snowflake.
So pretty.
With an I-cord. And then I'm going to put some, I have some relatively flat beads that are going to go on here. And I'm going to starch it out. But this one, I have to count and pay attention.
Yeah.
So this is my semi-complicated one.
So pretty.
And I like doing them. It's just sometimes I don't want to work that hard.
So now what's your yarn on that? Doesn't look like thread.
It's a cotton floss is all. Just the thread.
That's thread? Wow. It looked a little thicker than that.
Well, no. I'll show you. I'm sorry.
Show us.
I don't know what brand it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here it says.
Crochet thread. Yep.
It's Hilaza Rustica Omega. See, it's just crochet thread.
Nice. Well, it must be because of the I-cord. It makes it look thicker.
Yeah. And I just like that because it makes it thicker for the. And of course, look who decides to show up.
Hey, Miss Coco. Hi, sweetie. Look at that pretty, pretty face. He says, I heard the crochet bag. It's time for me to get into things.
Yes.
And I assume he helps you with your yarn work.
Oh, yeah. Drives me crazy. This is my I don't have to think about it project. And somebody is after it. Stop it, you. Oh. Go on. I don't want any help this morning. This is my crochet easy project. You're going to make me lock you out. Stop. And this is just a corner to corner.
Oh, kind of all one color, corner to corner. Oh, yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah.
So do you do 3 doubles when you're doing your corner to corner?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
That's very pretty.
It's he's going to be bad. But this is just going to be a little lap blanket.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just the yarn was given to me. It's just the Red Heart Super Saver.
Love it, love it. Is it coral? Is it
I
coral?
think it's pink. It's it is a pink. What are they calling it?
Really pretty.
Pretty in pink. It's pretty in pink.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, and that's when I get the square done, then I'm going to put some frou-frou around it. But that one doesn't take any, well, I don't want to say it doesn't take skill, but it doesn't require counting or anything like
yeah
the other
I
thing.
mind. You don't have to pay super close attention. You can just go.
Right. And of course, in crochet, if you mess something up and you notice it, you can pull it out and fix it. Whereas knitting, you can't do that.
Knitting, yeah.
So I do a lot of knitting, but it's because I enjoy knitting the most. But this is what I am making right now. And this is a corner to corner in knitting, and it's just a dishcloth.
It's so pretty. I like that. I want to say 100 years ago when I was first trying to learn to knit, I think that's what I was doing, was that very dishcloth.
That one is the sugar and cream. The label is gone, but it's the sugar and cream. I do pick up yarn from Dollar Tree just for fun. This Premier Just Cotton. And I made a couple just to test it out, but they're the corner to corner. I like small dishcloths to fit my hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, but I was just testing out their yarn to see what it was like, because you can buy it at Dollar Tree.
Right. And again, for dishcloths, who cares?
Well, it's not a good quality cotton, and you can tell, but I don't like to use them very long anyway because they get
stinky.
Yeah, well, I wash them. I have several, and I wash them all the time. But they get so
nice.
Dollar Tree cotton is just fine for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I've got one. I think it was it this year? Was it this year? Was it last year? I think it was this year. I had started following the Crazy Poppy lady. And she's from England. Oh. And every week she was putting out a new stitch of the week, and we were doing squares, and they were going to do these squares and put them together and make a blanket. Well, I'm not doing that. I don't like sewing squares together. And I also knew that then I'd have to be messing with gauge and blah, blah, blah. So I was using the cotton yarn, and just each week I would do the square, and it became a dishcloth. And some of them were this big and some of them were this big, and they were all different. And there's a couple of them that were quite lacy and don't make really good dishcloths. And I thought of that because that's what happens to be at the sink right now. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't working. I need to just throw this away. Because it's just the holes in it are like this big.
I tried in fact, I still need to finish it. One of those kit clubs.
Mm-hmm.
It's crocheting an Afghan, and I don't think that I crochet well enough to manage the different sizes because sorry, he's gonna knock that down. Little menace. Oh. And I kind of got disgruntled with it, and it's packed away. So I haven't finished it yet because it goes like this. I just don't I don't think I crochet well enough to pull off the different stitches like that.
Well, and I'm doing one right now and it's all different stitches. I haven't picked it up since I got back from my trip. It's sitting right there. And I'm not having too much of a problem on the ends, but the trick that I learned is to put a stitch marker at the stitch at each end when you know you've got the very starting of it and you've got your count correct. Put a stitch marker on each one. Then you don't tend to grow in and out. And that has helped me tremendously. So
maybe
you don't
that's
end
what
up,
I need to do.
yeah, because often you end up adding a stitch. It's like, oh, was there a stitch there? Is that because the turning chain you don't add a stitch to, but when you're working on it, sometimes you forget and you put it in there. And I have found that just that little trick has helped me tremendously. And I do that now on almost any project that I'm working on. You will see I've got a stitch marker at the beginning and the end of each row. That just keeps me in check. And then one of the gals, I'm just doing a simple granny square cocoon sweater, and I would get to that corner and I wasn't adding a turning chain, and my corner started being round. And one of the gals on here, she said, just put a stitch marker there and that'll remind you to do that. Just seeing the stitch marker will remind you to do that chain. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it worked. It was tremendous. It was much fun. But yeah, I kind of knew in the back of my mind that you did crocheting, but I had kind of forgotten about it as well. So I was really excited when you showed those. So that pattern that you're using for the knit, I want that pattern. That's like a pattern that's just out there, right?
Oh yeah, it's really simple. You start out with 3, cast on 3, and then you knit 2, roll a stitch over, like for adding, because that gives it that little
the loopy thing
hole
at the end.
Yeah, and then you knit to the end, turn it around, knit 2, throw your yarn over so that you're adding a stitch, and then knit to the end. That's all it is. And that where you yarn over it, it makes a gap so that you have that. It's just a little frou-frou.
Okay, yeah.
Instead of, you could add a stitch by the regular knitting add stitch, but this is just a line over, or the yarn over, so that it adds the stitch, but it gives you this little design. I don't know if you can even see it.
No, yeah, we can totally see it.
Yeah, and you do that till you get. Yeah, you do that till you get to the middle, and then you crochet 2, crochet 1, crochet 2 together, yarn over, crochet 2 together, or knit 2 together. I'm sorry, getting confused, and do it to the end to decrease. But that's all it is. But it's pretty common. If you look up the corner to corner for knitting, it's everywhere.
Okay, yeah. I enjoy knitting dishcloths. I usually crochet them because it's so much faster. Do you knit faster or crochet faster?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. So it looks like we are going to have a surprise giveaway this morning, and Miss Abigail Van Houten has put together a surprise giveaway for us. And so we're going to, let's just do that real quick. Let's see if I can. Okay, I know how we're going to do this. We're just going to do the pick a number thing. Jean, you know how to do the private chat?
No, I'm not familiar with. I used Yardstream in the old channel, but I never signed up to have guests or anything. So,
okay. Okay, let me look here. Oh, and you said you can't see the messages?
Well, I have another email address, and I signed on with that so I could see what people are saying.
Okay.
Because I can't. I'm blind.
Yeah, you and me both. Okay, so Jean is going to keep in her mind a number between 1 and 10.
Okay,
And
that's easy.
then we are going to have everybody, when I say start, and have everybody type in the word yarn, Y-A-R-N. Let's keep it easy. And then Jean will tell me the number that she's got in her mind and we'll count, and that will be the winner. Just keep this easy today. So you've got your number picked, Jean?
I do.
All right, here we go. We're going to go start. And everybody just type in the word yarn if you want to be in the draw for this wonderful surprise giveaway. It was so sweet of you. Abigail, do you do our bingo with us? On every Monday night, we have bingo. We have so much fun. Last night, we were having so much fun visiting, we kind of forgot we were playing bingo. Oh, hi, Mrs. Debbie. How are you? One of our previous winners. Pastel Dreams. See a few names that I haven't seen before. That's always so nice. Excellent, excellent. Hello, Sally. Sally's one of our longtime supporters. We got a lot going on this week too. So not only this morning, tonight we have Dana's big giveaway that starts at 2:00 Pacific. On Saturday, I have a guest, Charlie from Christmas on Crestline, and he's going to talk to us about decorating for Christmas. He does all kinds of fancy light shows. And you know, those fancy ones where you see the music and the lights and all of that kind of stuff. And so I'm real excited to see that. And then later this week, I haven't figured out what day yet, I'm going to be putting up my appreciation giveaway video for anybody who makes any donations during my videos. Will go into the pot, you know, the super chats, that sort of thing. Your name goes in the pot, and we're doing a drawing at the end of every month. So that's exciting. I so appreciate when you guys do that. All right, let's call it. Everybody got their thing in? And we're going to say stop. Okay, one last chance. All right. Enter. Okay, what's your number?
Number 5. I have 5 children, so 5 it is.
All right, so let's count from the top down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Miss Sally. Yay! Miss Sally Horner.
Cool.
And that's awesome. Sally was our sponsor last night. She was just giving away a bunch of yarn last night. So now you won a bunch of yarn too. How exciting. Now, did I hear that you won on somebody else's channel the other day, Sally? Or was that someone else? I get so confused. Yes, Sally just won. That's awesome. Sally just won one of was it Abigail's box you won from Crystal's party? That's funny. You are on a roll, Sally. That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Okay. So, let's get my thing up, the email address. Well, I've got your email address, Sally. So I need to pass it on to Abigail. Or Abigail, do you want her to just send it to you? Keep me out as the middleman. It might be easier. You tell me how you want to handle it, Abigail. This is your game. Whatever is easiest for you. That's funny. That is funny. And maybe, yeah, I get confused sometimes because of the lag in the notes. It's my understanding, Sally, that you won one from her, so she may already have your address. Or you may have won it from someone else. I don't want to lose track of that. In fact, let me write that down so I don't lose track of it. Or I will, because my little brain does not work. Let's put that in here. Sally, Abigail. That was so sweet of you, Abigail.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And Sally. It's always so nice. It shows you that's that karma coming around for you, Sally. That's that good karma. Oh, I bet you are. I bet you are. She gave away a bunch of yarn last night. Some beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay. So what do you have coming up? Tell us about your channel. You've got regular scheduled things that happen all the time on your channel.
I have subscriptions that I get. They're not the normal ones.
That's true.
I'm it started out getting like Ipsy and stuff, the normal makeup ones, and it's just not me. So I've kind of veered off, and I do subscriptions. I have like 4, I think, that I do a month. I'm fortunate enough to get the daily goodie box, so that's fun. I have started doing a tea. I drink tea. That's my beverage of choice in the winter. And so I started a tea one, and I tend to do a little bit of trivia and stuff in with it.
I love your trivia.
Let's see. I do Mask Mondays on occasion. I don't always seem to get them, but and I love Dollar Tree. It's my favorite store. So I do a lot of hauls from there and hauls from other places. But anytime I get a chance to travel, which I will be heading to Alabama on Friday, there will be some stuff up about that. Not quite so much because it's a memorial for my sister-in-law, but there will be some. A little too depressing to video too much, but some probably. But eventually we want to get a van of Class B type and be able to do some traveling. It hasn't worked out at this point. A year ago when we decided that, we could get a van for reasonable, but they've doubled in price now. So
yeah,
we don't know. I don't know from week to week what I'm doing, Robbin. If you want to know,
that's the truth. Now, I can't remember. Are you working again now? I know you were at Kohl's before.
Right. I work 2 days a week at the thrift store that I am a board member of. Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's a little too nice. It makes me want to buy things that I don't have room for.
I know. That's what I was just thinking.
But I do enjoy it. So, but it's more or less for fun, something to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So. I picked up a Saturday shift, and it's funny, I haven't worked a single Saturday since I agreed to do it. I'm going to be working at a craft store, but she doesn't sell any products there. She does classes like the sip and paint type thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's not dangerous for me to work there. And I can actually sit and crochet. She's got me doing crochet classes. I'm kind of sad. I was scared at first, but now I'm sad because nobody signed up for a crochet class since I started, since I agreed to teach them. But I'm kind of glad because I'm afraid to do it.
I used to be a librarian.
Oh, that was my dream job growing up.
Oh my word, I loved that job. It paid horrible because I am not certified.
Oh,
but it was a small town, and so I was librarian for it, and I set up to teach crocheting because I thought it would be a lot of fun and a lot of interest, and maybe get a club started.
Right.
Oh snap! I don't think I have the patience to teach people. I mean, we went through the classes, but I would not volunteer to do that again.
Yeah, I worry about it. Well, for one thing, I don't feel like I know enough to teach anybody. Just like you were saying, you
Yeah.
have all the little problems and things. And I don't feel like I am an accomplished enough crocheter to keep someone from having the same problems that I deal with. So that's kind of what scares me. I don't mind showing my friend how to crochet.
Right.
But it's a different thing. When I go to a class, I expect that person to be knowledgeable in the craft. And I have taken classes from teachers that had no business teaching, and I don't want to be that person. So it scares me a little bit. But
well, I told him at the onset that all I was going to do was teach him the basics, the single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, and the just the basics. And we were just going to do like dish rags that using all the different stitches so that they could learn the stitches. And then once you know the stitches, you can kind of mostly figure out your own stuff, because I didn't feel I was accomplished enough to do that either. But I decided I really don't have the patience to teach. That's probably why I was never a teacher.
Yeah. I and it's funny because I teach. My job, my business is teaching, but I'm teaching a very specific thing to a specific group of people. I teach first aid and CPR, and I've done it for 27 years. But
closer to 30.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But to me, that's different than, I don't know. I just need to teach a class, get it under my belt, and be done with it.
Yeah, we had in the library, we had crafts every week for the kids, and I was hunky-dory okay with that. I would line them up, and teaching little kids was great. But
kids scare me.
The kids, I enjoyed that part. I really enjoyed that part. We had a story time, and they did a craft, and it was great, and I loved that. But the adults, I did an adult reading thing, where we would get from the state library like 10 books or how many ever, and we would all read the same book. So it was kind of like a book club, and I enjoyed that. But teaching adults, that was not my forte.
Isn't that funny? That is funny. So you're back in Texas, right?
Yes, we're back in Texas.
You guys, well, you know that I just went down to Texas to babysit, and Jean and I tried to meet up, and she was so sweet. We were about 3 hours apart, and she's like, "Sure, no problem. Do you think I could find a 3-hour block of time where I could?" I was so busy with those kids. I had no clue what I was going to be facing, ferrying 3 preteens around, and this ball game and that practice and this sleepover and that play date. And I don't think we did anything but sports and homework the whole entire time I was there. And I felt so bad because Jean was so sweet. And she said, "Yes, you pick the day and I will make it work." I could not find one block. And then, because, the scared grandma, my main job down there was to make sure nobody died, because they're older kids. It's not like you're babysitting anymore. Just make sure there's no bloodshed, right? My biggest fear was I was going to get 2 hours away from the house and I'd get a call from the school. Somebody just fell, need to go to the emergency room, and I'm going to be a 2-hour drive away. I'll admit, that was part of why I was afraid to come and meet. It didn't even occur to me when I was making arrangements that, I might be too far away. And if it had been my own kids, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. But you're someone else's kids and you're responsible. And their mother she is the epitome of helicopter mom. And she would have done it, no problem. But because I was babysitting, that was another fear that I had in my little head.
Well, girl, you should have said that, because I would have drove over there.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I would not have asked you to drive that far.
Oh, I've done it before. I would have done it.
Oh, well, I'll be down there again for sure. I get down there a couple of times a year anyway. For sure, I'll be down there in the spring, and then I won't be babysitting. And my daughter, she lets me have the car, so that's no problem. But we are coming up on an hour. It always amazes me how fast time flies. Thank you guys so very much for popping in and spending some time with Jean and I. I really appreciate it. And I love spending time with you, Jean. I hope that we can do this again and visit even more. And some of the new faces that I saw in here today, I hope that you will join us on a regular basis. You guys, don't forget to go over to Jean's channel. It's just PinkeeJean. And there, right there, Nightbot had just dropped your link. Every now and again, Nightbot does a good job. And be watching later on this week. Oh, Sally, thank you. I was just gonna say that. Woohoo! Where's my thingy? There's my thingy. Thank you, Sally. Sally is such a great supporter of our channel. I was just going to say, it's November, isn't it? It's November. So you're in for the November drawing, Sally. So I was just going to say, later this week, I'm going to be doing the drawing for anybody who made donations during October. And I got to get my list all together. And we're just literally going to draw a name out of a hat. We're keeping it low key. So just a reminder for anybody who makes donations like this, your name gets in a hat, and at the end of the month, we do a drawing for a little thank you gift. And all donations go towards prizes and shipping, mostly shipping. Mostly I've got prizes. It's shipping is what the money goes to, because you all know shipping costs. So anyhow, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thank you. See, I did it again. Thank you, Pinky. I always want to call you Pinky. Where did PinkeeJean come from?
I used to do a lot of RPG games, and I don't know what that is. It's role play.
Okay.
This particular name I used in one of the role play games that I was in, and I had the email all set up and everything, so I just went with it because my other channel name was the one I originally wanted. So, and I didn't have anything, so I just went with it.
It's cute.
I love pink, and so it was just PinkeeJean, and that was in a game called RuneScape.
Oh yeah, I remember the name of that.
Yeah.
I remember the name of that. Never played them, but I remember it.
Yeah. Well, that was my name in the RuneScape, and I used the email, and I just went with it because it was easy.
Easy and all ready to go. Perfect.
Right.
Thank you so very much. Hey, Crystal's cool stuff. We just popped in at the end. So I hope that we see you guys at a future thing where every Monday night we've got bingo, and most Tuesday mornings we get to visit with someone and make some new friends. And so we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Robbin.
Thank you.